Did you notice that nowadays there are no more events that brings everyone together? Where people put aside their differences just for 1 second and realize, okay, we're all humans. And this event is something that connects us. Let's talk about it. And there are no more such things. For instance, even Thanksgiving. You have Thanksgiving coming up, and all the mainstream media outlets are like, oh, America is systemically racist. Let me tell you why Thanksgiving is evil, and why if you're a Native American, you shouldn't celebrate, and blah, blah, blah. Like articles after articles, and people on Twitter going around about it. Halloween, same thing. You know, like when I was a kid, Halloween was great, right? Like everyone was dressing up as their favorite character. And now it's like, oh, let me tell you about systemic racism. Let me tell you about how cultural appropriation, like make absolutely sure that you do not use your freedom of expression in order to dress this way or make your hair that way. Even when there's like a natural disaster. Like if there's a huge fire that displaces people from their homes, or global warming, it's because you turned your AC on, you know, it's because you didn't vote Democrat. Like everything has to be divisive. Everything. Today I found out from many of the DMs that you guys gave me. I never got so many DMs in one morning. But Akira Toriyama passed away. An absolute legend. And I go on Twitter and guess what I find? Guess what I find? Of course, people saying that he should have died sooner because he made a whole ass rape comic. Now, there are so many problems with this. It's like, okay, first of all, if you're genuinely thinking that that comic is harmful, right? Like that piece of paper is capable of harming people, why are you making it public? I didn't know about it. Honestly, I'm not even going to search. I don't care. But you're basically trying to tell everyone, hey, this thing that really rattles me, this thing that shakes me to the core, exists, and now you can find it too. So to me, it shows that these individuals aren't really rattled or scared or harmed by the piece of paper. They're just using their 5 seconds of fame in order to be divisive, in order to try to spark outrage on the internet. Like this is a thing for people now. It's not about accomplishments. Like you notice that? You know, you go on Twitter and you don't have people saying, hey, you know, I become a physicist, or hey, I became a doctor. Oh, this is something great I learned at university. No one is bragging about their achievements. No one is talking about what they accomplished. Everyone is divisive. Everyone is trying to be outrageous, to upset other people, to go out of their way to be antagonistic. And this is the toxic culture that exists under the trust and safety councils and the HR censorship of the internet. I gotta say, this wasn't like this in the 90s. This wasn't like this in the early 2000s. The internet wasn't like this. It's only when censorship started coming that people are behaving in this disgusting manner. Almost every single person that wrote mangas also wrote hentai at some point. Like, I'm sorry if you don't like that, but it's the truth. Yeah, your favorite anime creator, your favorite person that made you smile and made your childhood great, he probably drew porn. Yeah, a lot of women do it as well. Usually, if there's a lot of emphasis on the clothing and the tits, and the man is in the dominant position, probably a female artist. More likely than not. It is interesting. And what's interesting is, like, if Akira Toriyama was a Westerner, none of this would happen. Like, for instance, did you know, fun fact, that the person who made Steven Universe also drew porn of Ed, and Eddie? Westerners don't bring it up. They're not outraged about it. They don't care. And you can Google it. It's on Google. Like, it's not something hidden. It's not, right? And I'm pretty sure that when she's going to pass away, no one is going to crash her legacy with that. It's going to be like, oh my god, creator of Steven Universe. And you know what? Even though I don't like Steven Universe, I wouldn't have a single negative to say about her. She didn't do anything wrong to me. Like, why would I? Anyway, Akira Toriyama, in my opinion, was the Walt Disney of my time. I mean, when I was a kid, in every single playground, in every single high school, even when I grew older and I went to the gym, people still talked about Vegeta and Goku. You know, people would, at least every single person that I know that was a guy, tried at one point to do the Kamehameha. Like they moved their hands into the position and said the thing. Everyone around the world knew who he is, and was very popular. Like without a diversity hag, without diversity councils and consultants, without Sweet Baby and anything, he managed to make his show popular in Latin America. He managed to make his show extremely popular among black people in the United States. There are people today that don't watch anime and they know about Dragon Ball. They still like Dragon Ball, right? So, what a legend. An absolute legend. And he managed to inspire many other anime shows as well. There are people today who absolutely don't like anime, but they know about Dragon Ball, or they did watch it, even though they don't watch any other anime. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I was really impressed by Dragon Ball because all the cartoons that I was watching, they didn't have any violence in it. I mean, they would punch each other, Batman would punch the Joker, but like the Joker would never get hospitalized. In Dragon Ball, you actually have death and murder, and that was like interesting. And the jokes that they were doing. I remember I was watching little Goku taking a pee on a tree, and when he leaves, there was a ninja hidden inside the tree, so Goku pissed on him. Like that was a Japanese joke that the West would never make. And that's what made it interesting, because it was so different than everything else that was there. Plus the special effects and the fight scenes, they were absolutely out of this world. Like even Superman movies didn't have the same fighting styles and special effects that Dragon Ball did at the time. So that's what got a lot of people to watch it. And I think one of the things that made Dragon Ball stand out was just how good Goku was. And I'm talking about the original Dragon Ball here, and a little bit in Dragon Ball Z. He was just like chaotic good. Like he was genuinely a good character. There was nothing subversive about it. There was no, well, actually, he did that. No, like Goku was really pure. He could fly on clouds and shit. You don't really get that in the West. Like they don't make characters like that anymore. That are just like, it's a good character. Like he doesn't have any evil to it. It's just like always sees the good in people.